it's Daphne. I'm back from Scrap and Create. Today I'm going to share with you my Graphic 45 Christmas Magic album. This album is a little bit bigger than I'm used to doing. I had a lot of fun putting it together. It's a beautiful paper collection, and I hope this provides some inspiration for you. So the cover, I did a little bit of fussy cutting with some of the large 12 by 12 sheets. And I fussy cut these little guys out. I'm going to pick this up and bring it a little closer. I did some layering with chipboard pieces. I added a little bit of bling for my stash. Here is a really cute snowflake charm that Julie found, which if you buy the bundle from us will include 7 coordinating charms for the collection. Here's a layered sticker with another piece of bling and a little bit of bling down here. And then as you can see, this whole piece here is popped up. On the side, I added this nice big piece of filigree, plus a jump ring, and then I've added all these little charms on here. Again, those come as part of the bundle if you buy the bundle through us. And then on the very back, I've layered a sticker, added some bling to it, and that adds a little bit of dimension to the back of the book. Okay, so that is the front, the spine, and the back. So let's go ahead and get started with what's inside. So I did a lot of piecing in this album, and the reason I did that one is it's very visually interesting, but also the size of this album is, the actual outside is 9 by 10 1/4, and the pocket pages are 8.5 by 10. So it's a rather large book, and in order to use all the paper in the collection, I had to do some piecing. But also, if you just did a large 9 by 10 piece, this would be kind of boring. So I did a lot of piecing in this album, and I think it turned out pretty good. Okay, so on page 1, we've got a little feature here. This is a piece of the ephemera. It's a small ephemera card, and it just opens up, and there's a nice place for some notes here. And then down below, we've got a flip. This is a piece of chipboard layered on some circle punches that I created myself. It flips up. There's some room for a couple of photos here, and then it flips again. And then this is a nice big photo mat. This is a large pocket. And when I say large, it's both wide and very deep. It goes the full length of the page. So it goes all the way down to the bottom. So you can put all kinds of things in here, like any keepsake Christmas cards that you get or want to keep for the year. And then on the last part, we've got a trifold flip down at the bottom. So page 1 has just a ton of storage and location real estate for photos. So I think that turned out pretty nice. Inside page 1, these are all pocket pages, is a nice large collaged photo mat. And again, I did extensive piecing, and that a lot of that is because of the size of the real estate. It would get kind of boring if you just had 8 by 10 solid sheets. This page is pretty simple. There's just 2 pockets. I kept it simple because the other side is so complicated and heavy. I didn't want to put too much weight on the reverse side. So there's a nice big photo mat there. This is a nice big photo mat, and also you could stuff any keepsakes that you had as well. So again, more piecing, and that's to make use of all the paper in the collection. One of the things I realized, and remember these are deep pockets, after I was going through the design and actually starting to use some of my 8 by 8 paper, was because I made this format 8.5 inches wide, I would always have to use a piece if I wanted to use one of the 8 by 8 sheets. So if I had it to do again, the pocket page would not exceed 8 inches. And that way I wouldn't have to add a strip when I was using the 8 by 8 pieces. So here's a little piece of layered chipboard down here. This is a fussy cut from one of the pages. And I just covered this with some matte medium to stiffen it up a little bit. Okay, next page, we've got a flap, a large flap, and I did some piecing on the reverse side to keep it interesting. And then I've got a waterfall. And here you can see I did not cover the backs, and part of that is because I was quite literally running out of paper. This is actually a pretty large format, and I could have done with just a little bit more paper to cover the back of those, but I'm okay with those photo mats being blank too. Okay, this is one of the large ephemera pieces, and I just trimmed this flap down to fit it. I layered 3 pieces of chipboard here, And here's my door feature. I always have one of these in my books. And this is all extensive piecing. You could easily have converted this to a pocket, but it's just piecing. And then another large photo mat and lots of piecing again. This is a layered sticker, and I left it open-ended so you could tuck a photo behind it. Here on this page is a sticker, and I've just backed it with some cardstock to stiffen it. This is a flap that opens to the left and to the right. And then in this album also, one of the things that I've done is I've repeated some of the actual flap designs. So you'll see on the very reverse page here, this is a trifold. This is some layered stickers that I left open-ended. And then on the next page, you'll see this is exactly the same design, only I've flipped it over. So the flaps that open to the left and right are now located on the bottom, and the trifold is up on the top, so it's the same. So this speeded up some of the design process for me so I could get something out pretty quick because I was anxious to get some Christmas stuff out there. And then this is an open-ended sticker backed with some chipboard just to stiffen it again. So, and then what you'll see here is this is a repeat of page 3. And both of them close toward the spine, so I just kind of flipped it this way instead of up and down. So this is the same feature. It opens and it's pieced to keep it interesting. And then this is, again, a waterfall. So you've got several waterfall pieces. And all of my flaps close with magnets. This is another large ephemera card. I've got the door feature again. Some open-ended stickers here to stash your photos. And then here's a repeat of the pocket page that I showed you in the beginning. 2 large photo mats. And again, I think if I had this to do over again, this wouldn't be 8.5 inches. I would have made it 8 inches. It would have been a little bit easier to work with some of my 8x8 design paper, which I definitely needed for this album. I could not have completed it with just the 12x12 collection and patterns and solids. I had to use the additional 8x8 sheets. So in this case, what I had done is I had taken an 8x8 sheet, cut it into 4x4s, and pieced together some of my photo mats. So that's where my photo mats came from. And then the last page is a repeat of what we saw in the front. I've got a small ephemera that opens up. This flips up, and again, right here I've got a magnet holding it down, flips up, room for photos, opens again. And this is a large, deep pocket. It goes all the way down the bottom to the bottom of the page. And then the last feature is this trifold. So a ton, I'm gonna scoot that up, ton of location for photos and large pockets to store some keepsake Christmas cards that you get or Christmas photos that you want. And then this is just a large photo mat featured on the side here. So I love the collection. It was a lot of fun to work with. And we have this available, shipping right now in our shop. It is the Graphic 45 Christmas Magic. Again, this is a 9 by 10 1/4 cover. And the pocket pages inside are 8.5 by 10. 8.5 by 10. So it's a rather large format. I like it. I'm not used to it. But it was a lot of fun to put together. I've seen other large albums, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Because you have so much real estate, you wind up actually having 2 major flap function sections for each page. So you can get pretty creative with it. So I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I hope you guys like it. I'm releasing this as part of a collection. There's 2 additional videos that go with this that cover the base album construction for the album itself, and then also a second video that covers the installation of all the flaps and pockets specifically designed for the Christmas Magic collection. I did not release a video layering in the designer papers. You'll have to go back and kind of slow-mo the walkthrough. Because of the extensive piecing, it turns out that kind of prohibits you from doing a designer cut list, because a lot of stuff you actually just have to cut to fit, and I'll give you an example of that. So for example, this strip, if I tried to give you the exact measurements for the strip, I think you'd be unhappy. I think you layer in your flaps, and then you have to go back and do some measuring. So it can be a little daunting. Excuse me. But I think it's a lot of fun and a real beautiful keepsake for someone. So I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough. And like I said, I'm also releasing the additional 2 companion videos that go with this so that you can construct one on your own. If you click the More button, you'll find those videos. You'll also find a link directly to our shop to purchase the bundle if you're interested. And I'll walk you through that real quick. So if you purchase the bundle from our shop, you are going to get some coordinating ribbon. You'll get 4 yards of coordinating ribbon. So you'll get a red, 2 greens, actually 2 reds, a green, 2 greens. The ephemera pack, assorted coordinated charms, the 8x8, the tags and pockets, the chipboard, the 12x12 collection pack, and the 12x12 patterns and solids. So that is what comes in a bundle. And I can tell you that I used all of it. There are some scraps left over, but very few. So if I had it to do again, I probably would have bought one more 12x12 pack, so I would do a little less piecing. I did have a few small pieces of paper left, and so I made this little cute card. It's to hold a gift card, and I actually used the design from Ginger Rop, who I'm a big fan of. But it opens, and you've got a small tuck spot for a gift card. I've been mentioning over time our retreat here in San Clemente, California, coming up at the end of October. This is one of the make and takes that we'll make available, and it makes use of the Graphic 45 die that's designed specifically to layer on top of the Graphic 45 staple tag. So I thought this was pretty cute, but honestly, like I said, I used all the paper. So there's very few pieces of paper that I have left that are much bigger than this. So I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to click the More button to get to the tutorials, and also get to our shop to purchase the bundle. Thank you very much.